are in the final month of the regular season. Welcome back to CA Hoops Weekly presented by Geico. I'm Bobby Broyles along with Bill Potter. Over the halfway point of the conference season, Bill, and we have a three-way tie atop the league standings as we begin that final stretch of the regular season.
You know, with 4 weeks to go in the regular season, we do have that three-way tie as Charleston, Hofstra, and William & Mary all own 8-3 conference records. Charleston and Hofstra jumped into that tie with 2-0 road trips last week. The Cougars collected a win at James Madison before snapping Towson's 7-game winning streak with a comeback win on the road. Hofstra won both of its games by 23 points, capping the trip with its 9th road victory of the season at William & Mary. On Monday, Charleston's Grant Riller and Hofstra's DeJour Bowie were named CAA Co-Players of the Week. And after a home win over Drexel, Delaware owns the longest winning streak in the CAA, pushing its run to 4 games. Dylan Painter recorded his third double-double of the season in the win as the Blue Hens earned their 16th overall win of the year.
We got to speak to a pair of Blue Hen student athletes on our On the Line segment about their recent winning streak. Okay, joining us on the line now from the University of Delaware, we have junior Kevin Anderson and redshirt junior Nate Darling. First of all, you guys right now, 4-game winning streak coming off a fresh win over Drexel on Saturday. I'll begin with you, Kevin. What has been working so well for this team during this winning streak?
We're defending the ball really well, and on the offensive end, we're moving the ball. We're getting good shots, and the shots are falling for us right now.
And Nate, the division of scoring, you have 5 starters averaging in double figures. Just talk about playing with so many guys that could score the basketball.
I think it makes it a lot easier for everybody out there. You know, nobody has the pressure as I gotta score every night for us to win. You know, when Justin's got it going, it makes it easier for us guys to get open. You know, and when we got it going, it makes it easier for the bigs to get going. So I think just having that balance is a lot easier for us to win games and to just play free and play together and not worry about who's taking the shots and, just play fun and have fun together.
You can check out the entire interview with Kevin Anderson and Nate Darling now on casports.com and the league's social media outlets. Time to dive into a few matchups, and let's stay with the Blue Hens as they host Towson at 7 o'clock Thursday night, nationally televised on the CBS Sports Network, and this one should be a fun one, Bill.
It's going to be good, Bobby, not just because Towson head coach Pat Scarry and Delaware head coach Martin Inglesby are going to be mic'd up throughout the telecast. Towson enters Thursday night a half game in front of Delaware for 4th place in the CAA standings and earned a 16-point win over the Blue Hens in January. In that game, Alan Betran led 5 Tigers in double figures with 18 points, and in conference play, Betran's 16 points per game is 9th overall. A key for Towson in its win over Delaware was its bench, as Nick Timberlake and Juwan Gray combined for 27 points. Delaware has steadied itself over the last 3 weeks, and the Blue Hens are one of 2 teams in the CAA to have 5 players averaging 10 or more points per game. Nate Darling leads the way with 20 points per game, while Ryan Allen, Justin Mutz, Kevin Anderson, and Dylan Painter are averaging between 12.7 and 10.9 points per game.
Also on Thursday night at 7 o'clock on flowhoops.com, William & Mary will be at the College of Charleston. First place will be on the line in this one, Bill.
It should be loud at TD Arena on Thursday night as the Tribe heads to Charleston, and 2 of the CAA's biggest stars are going to take center stage in Nathan Knight and Grant Riller. In CAA play, Riller is tied for the conference lead in scoring, while sitting 3rd in assists and 10th in rebounding. Knight is tied for 3rd in scoring, while averaging 11.5 rebounds. And when you look at players used on at least 28% of their team's possessions, Riller and Knight rank 6th and 7th nationally in offensive rating. So yeah, anytime 2 of the country's best players are meeting with first place in the conference on the line, you're going to want to tune in.
Yep.
And while that pair deserves all the accolades, their supporting casts have helped both William & Mary and Charleston reach the top of the CAA standings. For William & Mary, Luke Lowy has developed into a Defensive Player of the Year candidate and helped the Tribe beat the Cougars by 11 points a month ago. And on the Charleston side, Brevin Galloway's outside shooting has taken some of the load off of Riller as he's averaging 12.5 points in CAA play.
Moving on to Saturday at 2 o'clock on flowhoops.com as Towson will be on the road at Drexel. A big contest with a pair of teams looking to stay in contention for the regular season title.
You know, Drexel has turned the DAC into one of the toughest home courts in the CAA, as the Dragons have won 9 games at home this season, which is the most in the conference. Towson's going to turn its attention to slowing Cam Winter and James Butler. Winter is averaging over 19 points per game in CAA play, while the sophomore is handing out over 4 assists. And down low, Butler leads the CAA with 12.5 rebounds per game while adding over 14 points. Meanwhile, Towson is the only team in the CAA to boast 2 top 10 scorers in conference play. Alan Betran leads the way with 16 points per game, good for 9th in the conference, and the sophomore is followed by Brian Fobbs, who is 10th at 15.5 points. And if you're looking for a key to this one, rebounding could be that, as the Tigers and Dragons rank 1st and 2nd in the CAA in rebounding margin. So whomever controls the boards and earns extra possessions may come away with a key win.
And we wrap up with a Saturday contest at 4 o'clock on flowhoops.com as Hofstra will play host to Northeastern. And Bill, these two teams put on a classic the first time around this year.
You know, it feels like they're always playing classic games,
Yes.
Bobby, and certainly that game on January 9th was no exception. Hofstra built a 16-point halftime lead before Northeastern stormed back in the game's final 20 minutes, but it was Eli Pemberton's jumper with under a second left that lifted the Pride to a 74-72 road win at Matthews Arena. Now as we come into Saturday, Hofstra has 5 players averaging 10 or more points, led by the 3-time CAA Player of the Week, DeJour Bowie. In CAA play, Bowie has elevated his game even more, averaging nearly 21 points while leading the conference with 5.5 assists. In fact, all 5 Pride starters are averaging over 10.5 points in CAA action. And one player to keep an eye on for Hofstra is Isaac Conte. The forward has really come on strong in conference play, putting up almost 13 points and over 8 rebounds while hitting 2/3 of his shots from the field. Now, Northeastern has been bit by bad luck in CAA play, dropping its 6 games by a combined 14 points. Still, with all the closeness in the CAA standings, all it takes are a few wins to jump right back up that ladder. And Jordan Rowland remains one of the premier scorers in not just the CAA, but the country. Rowland is averaging 23.6 points per game, tied for most in CAA play, and the senior also leads the conference with over 3 3-pointers per game.
Now here's a look at the rest of the upcoming action around CAA men's basketball. CASports.com will have all the information you need this week regarding links to live stats, video, and audio coverage.
And as always, Bobby, you can continue to follow the league on Facebook and Instagram by searching CAA Sports. We're also on Twitter at CAA Basketball using the hashtag CAA Hoops.
The CAA on-campus crew resumes this weekend in Wilmington, North Carolina. Stay with CASports.com and CAA social media outlets throughout the weekend for all types of content coming from UNCW. That is it from us today. Enjoy the games, everyone.